This is the Relevant Podcast.
It's episode 955, and it's the Relevant Podcast here in Orlando. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and joining me from Loverland, Virginia, is Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
From Nacogdoches, Texas, is downtown Emily Brown.
Hey, y'all.
Jamie is out this week, and still, we're recording two shows while Derek's here in Orlando. Joining me from my living room, artist, producer, mogul, Derek Miner.
What's happening?
We have a great show in store for you today. Coming up later, Trip Lee joins us. He was on the podcast with Lecrae, a couple months ago, talking about the situation that came out at Reach Records. This is a totally different conversation. He has a new album out. It's the best album I've heard him do. It's great. I'm excited to have him on the show. Also, we have at the end of the show your feedback, and up next it'll be Slices.
Quick question for Emily and Derek here. Okay. You guys have recently traveled. Derek, the day we're recording this, you traveled to Orlando. Right. Emily, you've recently got back from an international trip. I recently flew for only, I think, the second time since the pandemic. And, we've all seen these videos of people just freaking out on the airplane or in the airport over just minor stuff, right? And I actually witnessed that in the Orlando airport last week, and it was glorious. Just people shouting. It was in that line. You know how Southwest, they line you up? And there's no assigned seats, so it's a very tense situation because I feel like I don't know why Southwest does that. I don't know if they're just doing it to be different, but when you're standing there waiting to board, all you're doing is looking at the next person thinking, do I have to edge that person out so I don't sit and get a middle seat? Everyone's thinking the same thing. Well, I saw two people just start screaming at each other in the Southwest line and brought like 6 other people into it. It was awesome. I loved it. I love just public freakouts like that. Now, it didn't go to blows, but it was really fun to just sit back and watch them scream at each other. Emily and Derek, did you guys witness any tension traveling? Because I feel like I watch about 50 of these videos every day on the internet.
I'm asleep most of the time. So like I'm not gonna see much. But it's been cool. To be honest, I've traveled to Orlando and then I came back from LA not too long ago. The vibe has been straight. I think, I've just been blessed to be with people that's just like, man, I'm over it. Like, no more whatever. Like, people been kind of cool. So,
Derek, you just sleep on the plane? Yeah, like,
oh yeah. As soon as it takes off.
As soon as I sit down, my headphones are on. I'm not making eye contact. Shut my eyes. I'm out.
I'm out of here. I get really frustrated when people try to start conversations and stuff like
that's Jesse.
Bruh.
So here's the deal. Jesse and I have traveled the world together. Jesse and I couldn't travel more differently. Jesse is chopping it up with everybody in the plane. He just asked you a question about observing all these other people because he's looking for a friend to talk to. He's looking all around. I'm like, hat on, headphones on. Don't make eye contact with anybody. Just leave me alone. Jesse's like he's on the aisle seat. He's like that guy turning around, talking to the rows behind him.
Emily, what's up?
Jesse.
What happened with you?
I like to make friends. Yeah. What's your vibe, Emily?
I was gonna say I haven't seen any public freakouts. The closest I got was on my flight so I had a layover in Madrid when I went to Paris. And the flight from Dallas to Madrid is maybe like 7 hours. So it's pretty long. But on international flights, I think depending on which one you're on, you can get free alcohol. So the closest freak out we got was the flight attendants had to cut a woman off from alcohol because she got too drunk on the plane. And we were going to land at like 10 in the morning. So they were like, you can't really, you need to pick up. And she was only a few rows in front of me. So I could hear her kind of no, it's free. I want it. That was the closest it got. I think also because she didn't have her mask on. She was just she probably had at least 8 glasses of wine in a few hours.
So
okay.
That was the close, but that was also, she was also drunk. So can't falter too much.
Yeah.
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 I love it when people freak out on airplanes. I love it. It's just great entertainment. Yeah. I saw someone lay down in the middle of the floor one time, in the aisle, and refuse to go back to their seat. They're like, nope, I'm laying here.
Was a sit-in, a protest, or they were just trying to stretch out and get some shut-eye?
They just wanted to relax the back a little. But
stop playing, bro.
I would not lay down on that carpet.
Right.
I was team lady lying on the floor, not flight attendant in that situation. I'm like, look, seems like kind of lie there at your own risk situation.
It's another COVID origin story.
Road tripping with your family, you're in the back seat as a kid, laying down on the floor, and the big brother has the seat.
I want to fly like when I watch like Mad Men or something, and they have you walk around and you go up to like the bar upstairs, and you're just kind of. It seems like all these areas where people are just milling around on airplanes. Why don't we have that anymore? Why don't we just have a lounge?
Those are very specific planes. Those are like the 747s with the upstairs and stuff.
They all need to be converted. They all need to be converted.
Add a lounge to every plane. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be great.
All right. Well, let's move the show along. Stay tuned. Up next, it's Slices.
Catching my horizons, a ringing bell to my repeating visions. You were none the wiser, and of panic and wonders for distance.
You're listening to Yumi Zuma. The song is Astral Projection. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Mercy Ships. Globally, 5 billion people lack access to surgical care. In sub-Saharan Africa, there's only one surgeon for every 200,000 people. Mercy Ships provides free, life-transforming surgeries for people who have little to no access to medical care. They help the blind see, straighten twisted limbs, remove deadly tumors, treat cleft conditions, and so much more. With state-of-the-art hospital ships, they provide safe surgery to children and adults living with treatable conditions, and it's completely free of charge. They do all this work with an all-volunteer crew of professionals who donate their time and talents. Surgeons, stewards, nurses, engineers, and more make the world a better place. Your donation today provides free, safe surgeries to people in desperate need of help. All gifts are matched, so please donate today at mercyships.org/relevant. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Tim Tebow's book, Look Again. Have you ever wondered what would change if you truly believed you were infinitely valuable to God? In his New York Times bestselling book, Look Again, Tim Tebow reveals the powerful truth that when we learn to see the image of God in every person, including those we struggle to love, everything changes. Tebow shares incredible stories from his work with people the world often overlooks, and it will challenge you to stand up to the lies, rediscover the worth that everyone has, and impact the world for good. Find Look Again by Tim Tebow, available now wherever books are sold. Okay, it's time for Bringing the vibe.
Ooh, yeah.
Bringing the vibe this week. Slices.
Got a body roll with this one.
Be the best music.
What do you have, Jesse?
All right, I have it too for the first one. I'll keep the first one pretty short. I just wanted to highlight it. It was, and I'll give props to where I first came across it, was a site, an aggregator called Christian Headlines, which pulls in news stories of faith-based interest from around the internet. And they spotlighted, it's 5 churches. One is in Charlotte. Most of them are honestly in the South. One's in Greensboro, a couple in North Carolina, one in Alabama. But a lot of these churches are doing specific sort of campaigns within their church for people to give at the increments of $25, which the church then converts into gas cards and offers to members of the community.
Wow,
so their churches across the country, obviously we're in, there's a lot of global tensions and for a lot of different factors, gas prices are rising really rapidly. And often the people most affected are people who, are already kind of hard pressed for money. And so what these churches are doing is, they interviewed one pastor who actually donated $10,000 out of his own salary. His name's Brian Karn, and he's the pastor of Kingdom City Church in Charlotte. But they're just buying up gas cards and posting online, hey, the first 300 people from the community that need to put some gas in their tank this week, come by the church and collect your gas card. But it's kind of a trend breaking out in churches. And I just wanted to spotlight it because it's one of those, hey, can we get more of that type of thing? Because it's a practical way to help people kind of in a strenuous time. So that's number one of the two first. So props to those churches. If your churches give away gas cards to members of the community who need it, it seems like you're doing something right. Okay. The second one is I wanted to spotlight a study that ran in the Personality and Social Psychological Bulletin. And this study was conducted by a man named Dr. Winan Van Tilburg of the University of Essex. And it was to determine what are the most boring jobs and boring hobbies in the world. Now, if you're studying boredom professionally, I suggest you have a name like Dr. Winjon Van Tilburg of the University of Essex. That's the only thing worse than being bored is studying boredom. But hey, somebody's got to do it, I guess. We all need content to think about. But this was a large survey. The 5 most boring jobs. Number 1. Anyone want to make a guess?
5 most boring jobs. Toll booth. No, I guess you see people.
I think that, yeah.
Amazon assembly line packer. I don't know.
You would think specific. It would be more kind of manual labor stuff. But
monotonous,
they said,
like I work at a candy factory and it's the same thing. Just it's Laverne and Shirley. You're just on the line. You're capping bottles. You're just all day long.
Cleaner made the top 5. Yeah, people who clean professionally made top 5. That was number 4. The top 3 are data analysis, accountant, and taxes, or someone who prepares taxes and insurance. I think those would be incredibly boring. But here's how they define. Here's the survey for the most exciting jobs. 1, a job in the performing arts, which I guess if you're an actor or musician or so, Derek, I feel like you have a pretty exciting job.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Oh, wait, what are you talking about? You're creating, you're like traveling, you're changing people's lives, you're giving them memories, you're rocking stages, people adore you. What are you talking about?
Yeah, all right.
I'm talking about what 1% of the job, right? The other 99% is just stress and
right.
Yeah.
It's writing my lyrics out for Genius.
I know. I was setting you up. There's nothing is as glamorous as it seems, right? I mean, like for that 1% that the public sees, it's like there's a lot of grind that goes into it.
Where that's the thing. Like the public perception is one thing. So performing arts. Number 2 was science. Like that seems like one of the most boring jobs to me. Like unless you're doing
you're doing wacky experiments all day.
Is it just science in general?
It was just science.
Okay.
Just science.
I mean, there's a lot.
The profession of science.
Okay. All right.
But evidently but here's where I had a beef with this list.
Are y'all hold on. Are y'all seeing what's going on with Derek? He keeps getting up because there's a candy bar right behind him. I have a candy bar set out and he keeps getting up to go get more candy during the recording. It's hilarious.
Bruh, because the candy is over here. You think I'm just going to look at the Twix and not eat it, bro?
I knew you were coming. I refilled the bowls last night, literally, because I was like, I got to have the fresh candy supply for Derek. I know that he likes to graze. I didn't know that it would be a distraction during the show. But
so the number 3 most exciting profession, according to
race car driver.
Dr. Van Tilburg, and his astute research, journalism. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
As someone who's been in this field a long time, unless you think reading mean comments from strangers is exciting, then I suggest you find a more exciting profession, because I'm convinced most of journalism now is doing the actual work, but just sitting there for hours and reading what strangers are presuming about you online. It is not as exciting. Look, it is exciting sometimes, but not quite as exciting as science or performing arts. That's all.
Or athlete, race car driver. I mean, I'm watching that Drive to Survive show on Netflix. Yeah. That's adrenaline nonstop. I mean, that's a little bit more exciting than journalism.
I would say like go-kart test driver. Pretty exciting. I'm sure someone does it. I'm sure someone's got to test them.
We talked to the guys when we went last week. The guys who worked there and drive it.
What about stuntman? Stuntman?
Yeah.
Did they have stuntman on there?
Dr. Van Tilburg's been studying boredom too long. Problem here.
Yeah, that's the problem. All right. What do you have, Emily?
I have a really some sad news to share. Netflix is cracking down on sharing passwords. So if you share like an account with anyone, they're going to start charging you more, like per account. or that's what their plan is so far. This is really upsetting to me personally because I share honestly most streaming platforms with minimum 4 people. So this is really frustrating because it's going to start costing more. And like, I just really can't afford that right now. And also I don't understand why Netflix needs this. Like they're doing fine. They're just, I think they're money. They have shareholders. Yeah, and that's annoying. Like,
but come on. I mean, I'm a justice person. I'm a right and wrong person.
And that's annoying.
You pay for one subscription and you're floating a whole extended friends and family network? Nah.
God cut him off.
Enough. Oh my gosh. But no, like, so my frustration is Netflix already raised the price, but their content has not really changed. Like we're going on what, year 3 of waiting for the next season of Stranger Things. Like if you're going to charge me, give me some real good content and things on time. Don't make me wait for the stuff I actually want. Like, I don't know. I think if they I really think within the last year, HBO Max has really they're still the worst like interface, but they've really stepped up their content. So if HBO Max was like, you need to pay more for it.
Content is fire.
Yeah. I'd be like, you know what? That's valid. You're giving me real good content. Netflix, pretty mediocre lately. So if you're going to make me pay more money, you better give me some better content. That's all I'm saying.
That is interesting that they're doing this while pretty much the perception is that they're putting out mediocre stuff. You'd think they would do this right when the new season of Stranger Things is starting or something like that, where like, there's a lot of, demand for Netflix. Cause right now it's kind of like, oh, I can live without Netflix.
Yeah. It's like, I guess I'm going to watch a 5-hour true crime docuseries about a vegan restaurant tonight because that's what I'm being offered.
I did. First of all, I did. And it was fascinating. So thank you very much. Anyway. All right. What do you have, Derek?
Y'all hear Pusha T's diss record to McDonald's? So Pusha T has Pusha T has a collaboration with Arby's, and he's going after the McDonald's Filet-O-Fish. And I'll put it this way, like I would never beef with Pusha T. Like this man, anybody that could ether McDonald's for Arby's, because first of all, I mean, I don't know. I'm around a bunch of my white brothers and sisters. I don't know if y'all know, but black people don't really mess with Arby's like that. Just on a typical level, I would say 7 out of 10 black people probably are not big Arby's fans. That from in my circle that I know, you know what I mean?
Right.
So for a man to like,
it's not good. It's so gross.
People hate Arby's. Like, I don't know why. I ain't gonna lie. I'm with Kev on stage. Arby's ain't that bad to me. I mess with the curly fries. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, the roast beef sandwich is good, but I enjoy the roast beef sandwich. I have friends who enjoy their Jamocha shakes, but I haven't been to an Arby's in 5+ years. I don't know how they stay in business because you have people who actually hate Arby's, and then those of us who don't hate Arby's don't go to Arby's. How are they around?
I just appreciate that Pusha T has been entirely comfortable building his career on cocaine and pettiness. That is the Pusha T story.
Yes,
he started coke rap and then just got very petty, and I love it.
Yes, he's just like, listen, I'm gonna rap about selling coke, and I'm going to diss you, and that is how we're gonna make my money. So I'm like, hey, look, and I'm telling, and the beat is crazy on this diss record. Like, I'm like, yo, Push, you should have kept this for the album, dog. Like this, you should have gave him one of the B-level beats. It's not like you got Kanye to make this. I ain't gonna lie. So I mean, if you haven't heard it, it's definitely worth listening to. And hey, it's fire. That's all I got.
All right, play a clip, Clark.
I'm the reason the whole world love it. Now I gotta crush it. Filet-O-Fishes. Then you should be disgusted. How dare you sell a square fish, asking us to trust it? A half slice of cheese, Mickey D's on a budget. Arby's crispy fish is simply it. With lines round the corner, we might need a guest list.
Pusha brings Stinger missiles to knife fights.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. He don't play. I would never diss with Push. I'm just gonna let you know. Yeah. And I consider my pen to be pretty strong, but he just has a level of savage that is just, it's just crazy.
Drake is one of the most rich and famous people in the world. When Pusha did that whole song, I felt deep empathy for Drake.
I think Drake won that one. I'm sorry. I think he came back to back. I'm sorry. I don't know. Okay.
Back to back was Meek Mill. That wasn't.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of Meek. I'm not thinking of Pusha. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the Meek battle. I think he destroyed Meek. He destroyed Meek.
Took an L on that one. That was an L. That was an L.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Well, that'll do it for Slices. Stay tuned. Up next, Trip Lee joins us.
I'm feeling so good, it really I can't stop. Crying, laughing. I've never felt better, never felt worse. I can't stop. Crying, laughing.
You're listening to Dent May. The song is Crying Laughing. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by John Mark Comer's book, Garden City, a book that speaks to the tension we all feel between work, rest, and purpose. The New York Times best-selling author John Mark Comer takes us to the scriptures to identify what it really means to be human and flips the script on the idea that who you are matters, not what you do. He shows that God created us for meaningful work and meaningful rest. Both matter. This book helps you ask and answer the big questions. Does God care where I work? Is there a direction for my life? So you can discern God's heart for your calling, your rhythms, and the way His Spirit wants to shape every part of your life. If you're longing for purpose and a more grounded way to live, check out the new hardcover edition of Garden City wherever books are sold. Well, today's show is brought to you in part by the new book, God, the Science, the Evidence. We talk a lot about faith, but how often do we talk about science in the same breath? You might be surprised to discover just how deeply the two actually agree. For centuries, science has been used to dismiss the idea of God, but today an intellectual revolution is underway. Modern discoveries in physics, cosmology, and biology are consistently revealing the same truth: creation isn't an accident. That profound reversal is what engineers Michel-Yves Bolloré and Olivier Bonassi investigate in their international bestseller, God, the Science, the Evidence. This book is a rigorous, evidence-based critique of materialism, inviting you to explore over a dozen scientific, philosophical, and historical domains. It shows that what was once seemed impossible, that science could point to a creator, is now supported by a vast and convergent body of evidence. With over 400,000 copies sold in Europe, this book is sparking a global debate. It's thoughtful, fascinating, and a powerful reminder that reason itself affirms the existence of God. Learn more and find out where you can purchase your copy today by visiting godthesciencetheevidence.com. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Erwin McManus's book, The Barbarian Way. Some books don't just inspire you, they confront you. The Barbarian Way, now celebrating its 20th anniversary, is one of those books. If you felt the pull of God towards something deeper and wilder than the safe, predictable version of faith that we settle for, McManus reminds us that following Jesus was never meant to be tame. It's meant to awaken courage, passion, and purpose God placed inside us. He draws from the wild stories of Abel, Noah, Moses, Rahab, and others to remind us that following God wasn't meant to be tame. Safe faith isn't working. Step into the story God is writing for you. Choose passion, choose boldness, choose the Barbarian Way. Available now wherever books are sold. Well, our guest today is Trip Lee, an incredible artist and pastor. He's been leading the way for Christian hip hop for years, still putting out great new music. Trip sat down with our very own Tyler Huckabee to discuss what's next for him, what he thinks about the future of hip hop and the church, and his new project. Here is our conversation with Trip Lee.
Never too late, that ain't my way. Right at the gate, all in your face, preaching away. Right at the gate, quick on my pace. Right when I wait, ay, right at the gate, ain't on my place. Right when I wait, man, that's right at the gate. You can track on the fan.
So over the last few years, you've been in this game for a while. You're seasoned now. How do you feel like your perspective on this art has changed? Maybe what's most surprised you about some of your evolution as an artist?
Look, it's hard for me to even put myself in the mind space of young Trip because it was just such a I don't even know what I thought I was going to do, honestly. I love Jesus and I love hip hop, and I was like, I want to make songs about Jesus. And I want to make songs that impact people. But my perspective has changed a lot. I think maybe one of the things that would surprise young me the most is my starting place for some songs. Early on, for me personally, it's in everybody in my space, everybody I even did music with. I kind of approach songs from a place where I started with a truth I wanted to communicate, and then just try to do that creatively. And now that's not always the case. Often I'm starting from just somewhere I'm at emotionally or something I'm seeing going on in the world. And it's not to say I never did that, but it has so much to do with where I was at that time in my life, where it was like, there were a lot of things that were new to me about who God is. And I was just learning a lot of brand new things about scripture. Whereas I still am learning new things about scripture, I'm also being reminded of things all the time in scripture that I need to be reminded of. I mean, this is what Peter talks about. He's talking about, I want to stir you up by way of reminder. When someone like me, when you're a learner like me, it can be very tempting to only be excited about new stuff as opposed to something, again, that you've already heard that you need to be reminded of. And I want that stuff to impact me just as much. But in this season, I have been starting more songs in different places, which I think has made my music more well-rounded and more versatile, and even opens up new avenues for me songwritingly, where there are ways I could even box myself in creatively sometimes, where I want to be able to do the best of, I just want to keep growing and be able to be just as clear with the truth and continue to do it in all different kinds of ways.
Which my dogs will say, from Bristol's they face. Wish our world wasn't programmed to see thug on my face. Wish I knew it'd be better for my kids. They wouldn't grow up with violence. Wish our leaders was quiet.
With this album, do you feel like there is is there a cohesive statement to what you're saying here? Do you just, you decide to put out an album when you get enough tracks in the can, or do you feel like there's really an overarching message here?
That is one thing that I've been less strict with myself about than I used to be in the past. Because and some of it could be, like I have written books and I've pastored, and I don't have to say everything I have to say in my music in ways that I maybe used to. And so this, again, is not like discounting my old music. Like, part of why I wrote music like that is because music like that impacted me deeply. And I've seen that do that, Well, it really was like, I was just writing songs. That's the thing, is like, before I was even knew I was working on the record, I was just writing songs every day. That was part of the good creative place I was in, is just every day I was just writing stuff. And like some of them I was like singing and just playing chords and singing. It's like I wasn't even rapping. So it's like, I'm not planning on this to go anywhere. But what it meant was all these songs just really represented the phase of life I was in, the season I was in, the stuff I was feeling, stuff I was seeing. And so as I was gathering the songs I thought worked for this record, there was an interlude called The End that's on there, and it says, "The end of me may taste bittersweet, but that's where you tend to be. I always find your face where my eyes can't see. Strength can be the enemy. Show me the way to the end of me." And that kind of coming to the end of ourselves, the end of our strength, things not working out the way we hope. That felt like a common theme in my music. A lot of it having to do with, the challenges that have come from my health and other just things in these past several years, things that I thought would work out in particular ways where I felt like, man, I haven't been able to complete anything for this season of time. That felt like a common theme in the music, and that I felt like a lot of people have been feeling because of how strange this last few years has been. So yeah, I think there's a theme, kind of a thread going through it, through the record.
Might get me a female that you seen in people pick, yeah. I might set the green so everything I want I get, yeah. I might pack up Nina so they teen know we ain't it, yeah. I might cut some deal for my fit, and it's lit. Might get me a private jet.
So I'm curious, as a Christian, do you ever feel pressured to put sort of a happy ending to your songs? Even if maybe it's not something you're feeling in the moment, honestly, just as a person, do you feel like you have to pin a little, well, God's got this, to the end of songs about difficult times that you're struggling with?
Maybe I used to feel that pressure. I certainly don't feel that pressure right now, so I have a weird thing where I really like songs that express heartbreak really well, just in my own personal listening taste. From like Marvin Gaye put his album out after he got divorced, it was like crazy. Like, I like breakup songs too. Like, I think I like hearing heartbreak expressed well. So even apart from Christians lamenting, like, I just like when people are able to, I find that compelling and interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like, Also, like Marvin Gaye to even like folks like Sufjan Steve, like my dude be putting all the heartbreak into stuff. Phoebe Bridgers, like I like music that does that. Olivia Rodrigo, I think she does that good. Some of her breakup songs, whether or not I can even relate to it, I find it compelling musically. I remember when I first heard some of her joints, I was like, I feel embarrassed, but this is really good. Like she's a very good songwriter. She's capturing these thoughts and feelings really well. And I think Christians expect that we do that. I think this is one of the things that can improve about our worship music is I think we are too invested in things sounding happy. And we think praise has to come from a happy place all the time, when that's just not what we see in the scriptures. If you just open the Psalms and you're like, I'm gonna just find something enlightening and happy today, and you just land, it might be David, like, I wish I was never born. Like that's how some scripture sounds. The Psalms sound very depressed and anxious at times. And there's a brutal honesty in it I think is really healthy for us. And I think sometimes Christians are confused when life doesn't go that way because we've heard a picture of life that's not reality from leaders. But if you read Job, if you read Ecclesiastes, if you read the Psalms, it's like you're going to get a lot more of a realistic picture than Christians like to paint sometimes. And so to me, it feels like one of my personal philosophies. I want my music. In my music, I want Life is Hard and God is Good to exist right beside each other. I do not want to act like I have to choose one. I don't think it's healthy for me to pretend like that. I don't think it's healthy for Christians to live in that false reality. And so it feels like, and even in some of the worship stuff that I want to write eventually, and some stuff that I have written that I just haven't put out, like I want Christians to sing these songs together, or we're honest about it. I do think it's present, especially in a lot of gospel, and it's present in plenty of Christian music, but I want there to be more, and I think it would be healthy for us.
Last question for you. What are some of the songs on this album that you're extra pumped about? Like what are some of the songs that you're really, really excited for people to hear that you feel really, really proud of?
Yeah, this is a hard question right now since it just came out, because I love to it's hard for me to separate how I feel about songs from how people react to them. Of course, once I'm done, when I'm making them, every song feels like when I do it, I'm like, this is it. This is the best thing I've ever made. I did it until I'm working on the next one. And then by the time it comes out, I can't tell what's good at all because I've heard it all too much. But, right at the gate, which is when we put the single out for last, that seems like one people really love. Excited to do that one live. Dreaming is one where in the way that I like songs that are really honest about heartbreak and navigating that one is about me trying to figure out how to be a dreamer when everything is hard like that. And then probably one more would be a song called Stone, which is one of my favorite ones. It's one of the ones that my homie Michelle, who I worked with a lot, he produced that one. And I feel like it captures some of the influences that went into what the album sounds like, analog synth stuff, psychedelic rock stuff that I had just been rocking with and liked. It was like, let's find ways to incorporate that into what we're doing. It feels like one of the ones that's like, oh, we did it. This is what we established.
Never seen my ankle fade. Laughing daily, dangerous face. Eyes on that last day. Long for that, but can't just wait. Call his name, I say my crate. Said he say my place.
That was Trip Lee. Make sure to check out his new project, The End. It's out now. Really good. Stay tuned. Up next, it's your feedback.
I'm gonna prove my love. I'm gonna prove my love. You know you couldn't lose my love. So baby, don't confuse my love. We don't make a promise and a pitch. Up against the wall, gonna see what's it.
You're listening to John Mark McMillan. The song is Prove My Love. It's time for your feedback. Last week, we asked you, what one song that you love do you think should be remade, and by who? Where did this come from? Well, I don't remember the
Dolly
impetus
Parton.
for this question.
Dolly Parton
That's
wanted,
right. Dolly Parton wanted
Jolene to be
like
sung
Jolene
by
to get remade by
Beyonce.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, something like that. She wanted to turn into an epic thing like Whitney did with I'll Always Love You. That's what it was. Mm-hmm. So what song do you love that should be remade and by whom? You hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast. Here's a few of our favorites.
Yeah, Matt Lundy gave a handful, but I want to spotlight one that is fantastic pick. He said that Bon Iver should cover the Eagles classic Hotel California. Dude, what a game changer. I would absolutely, it would be weird and awesome and a fantastic call, Matt Gundy. We need to get the Bon Iver folks on the blower right now.
I like David LW80's suggestion. He wants to see Jesus Freak redone by Derek Minor.
That's gonna be a no for me, dog. But but I mean, no lie though. But listen, when I was touring with the Newsboys, probably like 2016, I did rap Toby Mac's verse.
You did
while
not.
My man was on the spinning drum set. No lie, I had never no lie. I had never heard the song before. I don't know.
It's
just somebody's cell phone somewhere. No lie, but yeah.
Also, you said that's a no for me, dog, which reminded me obviously of Randy Jackson. When Jesse and I went to the Magic game last week, he was certain that in the front row, sitting directly across from us during the game, was one Randy Jackson, and I was like, Randy Jackson is not at the Orlando whatever game,
Brooklyn.
Let's go.
Brooklyn. He could have been at a golf tournament or whatever.
He was not there.
I approached
Jesse,
him,
a certain Randy Jackson was at the Orlando Magic game last week.
Well, he signed his autograph, Randy Jackson, for me when I said, Randy Jackson, please sign this. Because if you see Randy Jackson or someone who looks like Randy Jackson, yeah.
I like Midnight Train to Georgia remixed by Leon Bridges. I think that would be amazing.
Ooh.
That would be a good one.
That should just happen.
That would be crazy.
The Lucy Esther said that.
I like someone suggested the song The Boy Is Mine, remade by Ariana Grande and Kim Kardashian. Musically, obviously,
Kim
Ariana
Kardashian can't sing?
You know, I don't think she can. I'll be honest. Maybe she can surprise us.
Why do we want her involved? We don't want her involved.
Because of Pete Davidson. So it's just like them like fighting over Pete Davidson. And like there's so many songs about Pete Davidson already. And I just think it's so funny that they're trying to push for another one. But I would love to hear Ariana Grande sing The Boy Is Mine. I think she would be amazing at it. But not Kim. So sorry, Kim.
You said there's a lot of songs about Pete Davidson?
Ariana Grande has a song called Pete.
Yeah. Literally called Pete.
That goes to show how many Ariana songs I've heard.
Well, if you're a guy, I don't know why you would date Ariana Grande or Taylor Swift, because like you're ending up in songs.
We're not getting into this, Cameron. A
whole lot of angsty girls are going to hate you forever. Why would you?
You're going to sit there and act like a male singer has never written a song about a girl.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like the iconic ones where they call out the guy by name in this era, internet culture, tabloid culture. Yeah. Taylor and Ariana are like, she has a song named Pete. I mean, it's like poor Pete Davidson. I'm sorry. I mean,
well, it was when they were together, so it was.
Tay not gonna let you live, bro. Tay is not gonna let you live.
It's not Taylor Swift's fault that the songs she writes are more popular than the ones that are written about her. You know, like she can't help it that she's talented.
Okay.
So if men wanted to write songs about her, maybe they could write something better. They need to rise to the occasion.
Man, look, you write a song about Taylor Swift, and you might as well just go on and hop in your casket.
That's like calling out Pusha T in a rap battle. You do not just leave it alone. You do not want to write a song about Taylor Swift.
John Mayer has a song about Taylor Swift, and Taylor Swift has a song about John Mayer, and Taylor's is more memorable.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Of course. So I'm saying you don't date her and you don't write songs about her. That's the golden rule. All right. There's a lot more feedback where that came from. Go check it out on the @Relevant Podcast Twitter replies. You can see them. Okay, it's time for this week's
editorial question of the week.
All right. Well, earlier we were talking about Pusha T, and we were just talking about Taylor Swift and Ariana. This is a question this week. What's your favorite diss track of all time? And extra points if it's like a sneaky one that's not known as a diss track, but like there's an element in it that's clearly a diss track, like a sneaky diss track. But no, just what's your favorite diss track of all time? Whether it's a mixtape or back to back by Drake or whatever, just hit us up and we will go through our favorites next week. That's gonna be fun.
Derek, do you have any diss tracks?
Do I have diss tracks?
He disses the devil in every.
Nah, I worry about beef because I don't know if I have the ability to not do something in real life if somebody say something crazy. So I try to keep my words, you know what I'm saying? I try to choose my words.
That's smart.
Selectively.
That's a smart way to do it.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'll try to choose some words. But you know, I mean, if it's a problem, you can take it to them. I ain't got no problem with it, dog. Like, hey, look, I'll just let you know, just be prepared to go there, bro. I got a little, you know what I'm saying? Just be prepared to go there.
There you go. All right. Hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast or follow us on Instagram. We'll post it there in the stories and you can reply there as well. Well, before we wrap things up, I'm going to thank Trip Lee for joining us today. Make sure to check out his new album, The End. It's out now. Internally, our team, we think it's his best project yet. It's really good. Also, make sure to check out the brand new issue of Relevant. The spring issue is out now. It features an amazing lineup. We have Ryan Reynolds on the cover, Channing Tatum, Brooke Ligertwood, Maisie Peters, Judah and Lion, Wande, so much more. It's packed. You can read the ad-supported version at relevantmagazine.com. And for the ad-free enhanced edition, subscribe now to Relevant Plus. You can get all the info and sign up for instant access there at relevantmagazine.com. Also, while you're at the site, make sure to check out our daily devotional series, Deeper Walk, which is presented by Lumo. There's a morning devotional email you can sign up for, or you can just check out our morning devotionals. Every morning, we post them first thing right there in the faith section at relevantmagazine.com. Also, hey, if you like the show, tell us. Leave a review, rate and review it wherever you listen, whether it's Apple, Spotify, anywhere you get it. It helps the algorithm, helps people find the show, and we appreciate the feedback. Okay, on that note, we'll wrap it. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Emily Brown.
I'm Derek Miner.
We will see you next time. Thanks, everyone.
For listening to the Relevant Podcast. Check out our features, interviews, and news updates every day at relevantmagazine.com. And make sure to follow Relevant on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest. For more great podcasts, browse the shows on the Relevant Podcast Network, which you can find at our site. And while you're there, don't miss the all-new era of Relevant Magazine. A new issue releases every other month at relevantmagazine.com.
I love it when people freak out on airplanes.
Relevant Podcast Network.